Good morning, fourth graders. Today in math, we're going to be practicing analogies. An analogy is basically a comparison. There's a special way that we write analogies where we're using the colon symbol, which is just two dots stacked on top of each other. And when we read analogies, we read them like a sentence. Let me give you an example of a very friendly, not math-related analogy. If you were thinking of an intersection and a stoplight, when you're looking at that stoplight, red means to stop. So we would read it as red is to stop, and then we would do a double set of colons. So when we read an analogy, we have two things that have a relationship. So when you see the red light in a traffic intersection, the red light means to stop, and a green light means to go. So we read it red is to stop as green is to go. And I'll put a little key. So the first colon means is to, the second means as, and the next one also means is to. Red is to stop, as green is to go. Let's try another example of a friendly analogy. Hand is to glove, as foot is to blank. When you're trying to figure out an analogy, you can always ask yourself, what is the relationship between the two items that you're already given? Well, you wear a glove on your hand. So what would we wear on our foot? There's a couple of different correct answers that you could possibly think of for this one, but I'm going to go with sock. A sock is what you wear on your foot. So today in math, we're going to be doing analogies that involve numbers and patterns and relationships. All right, let's take a look at the math activity that I assigned to you in Seesaw today. We're given, if you look at the problem number 1, you're given the first relationship that says 7,352 is to 300 as 804,915 is to blank. So when I look at the relationship between the first two items that I have, I see that the number 7,352 has a 3 in the hundreds place. So if I'm looking at the hundreds place of my numbers, I need to do the same thing for 804,915. And I see the number 9, which is 9 hundredths. When you're asked to explain how do you know, you can put into your own words the relationship that you used to figure out this problem. I know that 7,352 had 3 hundredths, so I'm going to look at the hundreds place in the next number to figure out how many hundredths that one had. All right. I would recommend pausing the video here, try the next 4 problems on your own, and then come back to check your answers. All right, let's go over the answers to the rest of these problems. 605 is to 6 hundredths, 5 ones, as 8,942 is to, I'm going to list out all of the values in each place number for this problem, because looking at the number 605, it had 6 hundreds, no tens, and 5 ones. So I'm going to list the value of each place value in the other number. Your explanations and your answers can vary for how you know, so I'll just look at what you wrote for each of those explanations down below. Number 3, it says 170,000 in word form is to 170,000 in number form, as 811,013 in word form is to 811,013 in number form. Problem number 4 has the fraction of a pizza where there are 4/6 of a pizza left and 2/6 of the pizza have been eaten. So it says the fraction 2/6 of the pizza eaten is to the fraction number 2/6 as 3/6 of a pizza that's been eaten. So I'm going to turn that into a fraction. I feel like that might be hard to type. So instead of typing it, I think I'm just going to use the pencil tool. And lastly, number 5, 225 plus 225, well, that equals 450, is to 450, as 115 plus 115 is to 330. All right, I hope that those analogies went well for you today. I'm also going to go over the answers to the next page that I had assigned in Seesaw, just to make sure you feel totally comfortable with those problems. Problem 1 was a subtraction problem, 708 minus 59. When we subtract in the ones place 8 minus 9, 8 is not large enough to take 9 away from, so we need to go next door to borrow. There are no 10s, so we need to go over to the 100s place to borrow. Our 7 will become a 6. The 10s place will become a 10. Now I'm going to borrow from that 10, turning it into a 9. And finally, my 8 will become an 18. 18 minus 9 is 9. 9 minus 5 is 4. 6 minus nothing is 6. 649. The next problem has you looking at a clock. What time is it? Well, the hour hand is pointing in between the 3 and the 4 so that I know that the hour is 3 o'clock. And then the minute hand, which is the longer hand, is pointing to the 6. You skip count by 5s to figure out how much that's worth if you don't know off the top of your head. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30 minutes. So it is 3:30. The next problem has you coloring all of the quadrilaterals. Remember, from our vocabulary earlier this year, a quadrilateral is any shape that has 4 sides. So our quadrilaterals are all highlighted. And the last problem says Sarah and Felipe were playing video games. Sarah scored 21,456 points and Felipe scored 9,087 points. About how many points did Sarah and Felipe score together? Because I see the word about, this question is asking me to estimate and to round my answer without actually having to add those two numbers together. So if Sarah scored about 21,500 points and Felipe scored about 9,000 points, I would just add 21,500 and 9,000, which is about 30,500 points. If you got anything roughly close to that, then you are on the right track. I hope math went well for you today. We're going to continue practicing analogies and doing some review pages like this one for the remainder of the week this week. So just be prepared to see very similar activities each day this week, and have a great day.